We want to bring you what's alive and happening right now, and we hear Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker hosting a press conference with Democratic lawmakers from Texas. This is happening because those lawmakers left Texas to block Republicans from having enough people to vote on new political district maps. Let's take a listen.
That we have as state legislators under the Texas Constitution to fight for our constituents. And we are all elected to fight for the people we represent. And that's exactly what we are doing here today. I want members of the media to know that in addition to the legislators you see here in front of you today, here in Chicago, there are others who are joining us in Chicago shortly. We also have delegations of our caucus in Albany and in Boston who are meeting with leaders in those states to tell them what's happening in the state of Texas. And we also have several other members who are elsewhere, but they are not in Austin, and they are not going back to the Capitol. Together, we are united in this fight, and we are working to spread the word about what's happening in Texas. Donald Trump wants more power. That's what this is about. He wants to face no accountability and no consequences. And that's why he's demanding Texas rig our congressional districts. The people of Texas have made their voices very, very clear on this. Over the course of the last 10 days, thousands of Texans have turned out to make their voices heard in our House Redistricting Committee hearings. 99% of them, and I'm not exaggerating, 99% of them have demanded that we reject Trump's Texas takeover. So what did the Republicans do? What did the Republicans do in the face of all those people saying don't do this? They ignored them, and they did it anyway. And they've accelerated this plan, this scheme through the process, and that's why we are here tonight. There was a time when a Texas governor wouldn't be afraid to tell a president, any president, don't mess with Texas. Right. But Greg Abbott is too subservient and too weak to do that to Donald Trump. Right. So Abbott and the Republicans in the legislature are dutifully following Trump's commands. And this is what this is about. They are engaged in an illegal act of intentional discrimination by tearing apart majority, minority congressional districts across our state. And we are not going to stand for it. Right. So we are here to fight for the millions of Texans who don't want Trump's Texas takeover, and we're going to continue to fight for them, and we are here to fight back. I'm going to hand it back to Leader Wu.
Thank you so much, Chris. Up next, we're going to have Governor Pritzker, and before he comes up, we just want to say thank you to Governor Pritzker for welcoming us, and definitely someone who recognizes the need for us to fight, and also thank you to the people of Illinois for welcoming us as well. Thank you so much, Governor.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate you. Thank you so much, Leader Wu. Good evening, everyone. A big thanks first to the DuPage County Democrats and their chair, Reed McCollum, for making this space available and hosting us here this evening. We're here to welcome the Texas House of Representatives Democratic Caucus and its leader, Gene Wu, to the great state of Illinois. I was honored to host all of you, a group of you, about 9 days ago, and to learn about the challenges that you might potentially face. And frankly, I wish that we were greeting you under better circumstances today. But instead, we know that you are making great sacrifices to resist the power grab that's being perpetrated by Donald Trump, by Governor Abbott, and by Texas Republicans. You are answering one of the most challenging calls of public service that has ever been asked of you. And you've had to leave behind your families, your full-time jobs, your communities, and you did it to protect the voting rights of the people that you represent and voters all across this nation. Tonight, along with the Speaker of the Illinois House, the President of the Illinois Senate, and millions of Illinoisans, we are very pleased to welcome you and to stand in solidarity with you and send a clear message to all Americans. We will not let power go unchecked, right, or let your voices and their voices go unheard. Over the past few months, my political team and I have been in direct and regular contact with the Texas Democratic Caucus. In late June, I was able to spend time with the Texas Democratic Party Chair, Kendall Scudder, who traveled all the way from Dallas to prepare for this exact possibility. Last week, I was honored to host Chair Wu and members of his delegation for a frank discussion about what was at stake and how Illinois could help. I want to level set with you about what is happening in Texas and how it affects us all and why we are grateful that our friends from Texas are here tonight. Since Donald Trump came into office, he has taken calculated and explicit steps to grab unprecedented power and to silence his dissenters. He has ignored federal orders, federal court orders, encroached on states' rights, and he has strained our Constitution. As his cruel agenda reared its ugly head, Trump saw his poll numbers tanking and has begun to see that Republicans will likely lose control of Congress in 2026. When you try to tear health care away from veterans and seniors and people with disabilities, and stop food assistance for the most vulnerable working families in America, and raise prices on everyday groceries, all to fund tax breaks for the wealthiest people in this country, then voters are likely going to throw your party out. So Trump came up with a new scheme, rig the system, by ramming through a corrupt mid-decade redistricting plan that would steal 5 congressional seats, silencing millions of voices, especially Black and Latino voters. Let's be clear, this is not just rigging the system in Texas. It's about rigging the system against the rights of all Americans for years to come. Now, Texas Republicans submitted to the president's orders and took steps to advance Trump's Texas takeover. And while Texas Democrats have been trying to work across the aisle to deliver disaster relief after the devastating floods in Central Texas, Republicans chose to use the tragedy as political cover to cheat. That brings us to today. Texas Democrats were left no choice but to leave their home state, block a vote from taking place, and protect their constituents. This is a righteous act of courage, and we can all take a page from these leaders' playbook. When you show people that you have the will to fight, well, they can muster the will to fight too.
Right.
Courage is contagious. I am very proud that Illinois Democrats have been in this fight from day one of Donald Trump's presidency. In the coming days and weeks, Illinois will partner with the Texas House Democratic Caucus to put a spotlight on the danger that Trump and Texas Republicans pose to all Americans. To be in public office right now is to constantly ask yourself, how do I make sure that we're standing on the right side of history? There's a simple answer. The wrong side of history will always tell you to be afraid. The right side of history will always expect you to be courageous. Expect courage from people around you, and it will show up. Expect fear, and fear will rule the day. Let the courage of these leaders be an example to the rest of the country. I'm proud to stand side by side with our friends from Texas today, and we'd be happy to take your questions.
Mr. Wu, can you talk about what is going to happen if you make it through the 19th and then another special session is called? Are you prepared to stay? Is the whole group prepared to stay here through multiple special sessions?
So look, whatever strategy we choose, whatever tactics we figure out as we move on, the only thing we have in our minds is what do we need to do to protect Texans? What do we need to do to protect Americans? And what each and every one of us has said is that we will do whatever it takes. That what that looks like, we don't know. But we're here, we're committed to this, right? We're all away from our families that we've already been away from for 6 months because of the legislature, that we've been away from our jobs, we've not earned a lot of income. this entire year, and and our salary for being in legislature is $600 a month. So this is not a decision, again, that we take lightly. And all the things that we are doing right now, we're doing it because we feel that this is the only way we can protect Texans. This is the only way we can protect Americans, and that we would ask everyone else, if you want to protect this country too, come join us.
Hey, Governor, just want to get your reaction to something. John Kerr.
This is unfolding in Illinois tonight. Governor J.B. Pritzker hosting this press conference with Democratic lawmakers from Texas. And it's because those lawmakers left Texas to block Republicans there from having enough people to vote on new political districting maps.
Thank you for watching. Subscribe below and download our NewsNation app right now on your phone, and you will get fact-based, unbiased news for all Americans.